Today I'm going to show you how to change out the ignition switch in an E53 X5. This also loosely applies to the E38 7 series and the E39 5 series. The first thing we want to do is turn on the ignition and extend the steering wheel all the way out as far as it can go. The first thing we want to do is remove this lower portion of the steering column here, and there's a T20 torx screw underneath that we have to remove first. Our next step is to remove this lower portion of the steering column, and we'll do that by squeezing the plastic and pulling it down. As you can see, we now have full access to the ignition switch, which is behind this plug here. So our next step is to remove this harness. We're going to move this out of the way. Sometimes there's a zip tie here that needs to be snipped. Let's also remove this trim column here on the top. There's one Phillips screw right here. Let's unplug the harness from the ignition switch. We'll use our small flathead screwdriver to pop out the clip. And we have a T27 torx bolt to remove right here. And we have one more torx bolt right here, now that we've moved the wires out of the way. Here's another angle. Now we can remove this bracket that is keeping this ignition switch into place. And if some of these wires are really tight for you, it depends on the car, there's probably other zip ties that you can just snip and then replace. Okay guys, so our last step here is to remove two very small flathead screwdriver screws that secure the old ignition switch to the steering column. Sometimes there's some glue or Loctite type of material that is holding this in place, and you'll need to sort of scrape that out with a pick before you can fit the screwdriver in here. Fortunately for us on this model, it looks like this may have already been replaced at some time, so there's nothing that we need to scrape out. And you can see we have one more right here. At this point we can remove the old switch. And it's kind of interesting to note that the production date on this is 2010, so this was last replaced about 5 years ago. Alright guys, here's the new ignition switch. Here's the part number ending in 961. Here's our new switch, and we'll slide this into place in the steering column. Now we'll put our screws back into place. Now we'll place the bracket back into place with the torx screws. We'll slide the wires back into place and plug in our harness. Let's reinstall our upper trim panel. Install the Phillips head screw. And we'll reinstall the lower steering column cover. And reinstall the T20 torx bolt. As always, thanks for watching guys. I hope this video helped you out today. If it did, please click the like button and subscribe.